Well, many of us watched from home in shock and horror.
A mob descending on and breaking into the U.S. Capitol. It's been 2 years since that fateful day of the January 6th attack.
And here this morning, we're now joined by Kinsella, the director of the Bowen Center of Public Affairs at Ball State, offering a little more perspective on the history behind the day and what that means for us now. Chad, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, hey, I do want to start out this morning, of course, with the Capitol attacks and its place in history. How do you think America will remember the day?
It's not going to be remembered, obviously, I think, as a good day. And I think, unfortunately, for former President Trump, it's going to be one of those lasting, it may be one of the biggest lasting part of his legacy. So I think that's probably not a good legacy that any president would want. So, and again, a lot of people, as you already mentioned, it's a lot of my students, when I talk to them, it's very much a lasting image and not a good one.
Chad, are we still seeing the ripple effects of January 6th in American politics right now, 2 years later?
I think we are, and I think one of the biggest problems that happen with it is there are still a lot of people who are denying those, election results. And I think right now there's been a lot of work on elections throughout many states, including Indiana, and I think right now we're in a really good place with elections, and so kind of putting elections into question, I'm not sure that's a good look for anyone right now. And I think we need to take a look at that and really think about trying to have more confidence in government and elections. So I think that's one of the lasting legacies of that. But I hope we can get back into a better place with elections and have more confidence in government and elections.
Well, as questions just like these continue to swirl, we are seeing this heightened sense of divisiveness in politics and less moderation. So in terms of teaching about January 6th later on, how do you think it'll be taught in schools to future generations?
I think it might be seen as kind of the zenith of polarization, which has been so polarization. It's been around for a while. It's been something we've been talking about, like I talk about in my political science classes. And the idea being is we are very divided, and that's a key point when you have a whole lot of people who were divided and just had gotten to a point where they actually revolted in a way, if you will. So I hope that we can work on that and agree to disagree, but still have conversations. And hopefully that's one thing that does come out of this, is that we don't get to that point again with either side, that we can have conversations, disagree, but at least agree to disagree and continue on civilly with our discourse.
Chad, right now Donald Trump is running for president in 2024, with the January 6th committee recommending those criminal charges against him to the Justice Department. How do you think the Capitol attacks and the committee's investigation will impact his chances in the 2024 presidential campaign?
I think they already have, and I think one of the things that happened, really, I think in 2000, I have to wonder. So 2022 was not, the red wave that it was supposed to be, and we're still kind of analyzing why that was not as good a year for Republicans. And part of me has to believe that maybe those investigations and the findings from that did some damage to the Republican cause, and a lot of President Trump's endorsed candidates, not all of them to be sure, but many of them didn't perform very well, especially in some crucial states. Maybe about a year ago I would have said, he is running for president again on the Republican ticket, and I would probably said that he would have been the front runner. At this point, I have to wonder if he still is the front runner, and I think there are some other voices out there in the Republican Party who may have a better chance now. So this is going to taint his legacy, I think, going forward into 2024 and beyond. So, and I think it will have some impact when we get into the 2024 primary season.
Well, now in 2023, we'll just have to see how this all plays out. Chad, that is all the time we've got for you here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.